Hi, this is Lori Whitlock, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the 5x7 shadow box frame that you can find at the Silhouette online store and at loriwhitlock.com in SVG format. So I'm going to quickly run you through this project. If you've assembled my larger shadow box, you probably will understand this really well. But basically, you're going to have a bunch of strips that look like this. They create the inside window of your frame and the outer edge of your frame when you're completely done. So you're going to need to get the right size pieces for the right project here. So the pieces that measure 5x7 to the dashed lines are for the inside of your frame. The larger pieces are for the outside of your frame. So let's go ahead and get these folded into a nice 90-degree angle for the inside edges of your frame. So we will be forming that clean window that kind of looks through the center of your frame. Okay, now that we have those folded, you're going to want to fold the little tabs at each corner as well. Okay, so these are going to basically attach this way with your seams all going out towards the outside of your frame, forming a nice clean window. So let's go ahead and glue down the first one, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and attach these to each other. I think this will make this go easier. You're going to want to attach these to each other with the glue flap on the facing the, let's see. Okay, it needs to be on the outside edge, so we're trying to form a nice clean inside. We don't want our glue flap showing on the inside of our window. So you're going to go ahead and glue these flaps on the outside, the same direction that you folded the folded pieces out. You're going to want your glue flap out there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on these and start forming this long piece. I would have attached these together, but they were too long to do that, so I had to just glue them together by hand. Okay, so let's just continue on making this long piece. Okay. All right. We want that glue to dry really well. Let's see. I'm going to see if we could attach this last piece at the same time. Okay, so let's put the glue there. Then I'm just going to hold down on all those seams. Let's see if I just can loose. So you can kind of see what we've just created. It's this little window. You're going to want to make sure all of your corners are nice and square so that your window turns out really nice and crisp in the end. Okay, so we want that to dry a little bit. The rest of the kit consists of a face frame, which we will be attaching now to that window that we just created, and a back piece, and then the outer edge pieces to close off the whole frame. And in the file I have included an edge piece that has 2 holes in it that can be the top of your frame, and you could put ribbon in it before you finish it all off to hang it. I did not cut those holes in this one. I didn't want this one to be hanging, so you can make that decision before you cut. That's something you're going to want to figure out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue to each of these glue flaps, and we will get ready to attach that to the face frame. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and set this face frame down on and start forming that into a nice square at each corner. sometimes it helps to flip it over and work from the back side. You know what, one of my corners is not coming together the way I want it to, so I'm going to pull it apart. Go ahead and attach my sides down because the glue is drying. And I am going to go back and put just a little bit of glue on that corner. And put it into place just the way I want it. Okay, there's one area here that's not glued down very well, so I'm going to go ahead and tuck a little more glue in here. Okay, so now you have this face frame connected to your window, and you can go ahead and attach the back to it. If you, for some reason, wanted a frame that just shows through without a window, without a back on it, you could just cut 2 of these face frames and attach the other one to the back now, but I would like to close off the back. And just so you know, this holds a 5x7 photo. Exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to liberally apply a little glue here to each of these glue flaps. And go ahead and set this back down. Now, the glue flaps should leave just a tiny bit of gap between them and the edge of the paper. If this is hard for you to line up, you could certainly cut 2 face frames and attach it to the face frame first so that it lines up perfectly, but I kind of eyeball it, just make sure that your glue flap is just a little bit inside of that back piece on the inside here when you're gluing it down. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's just a teeny tiny bit of gap between the edge of our glue flap and the edge of the backing piece. Okay, so now you have this really great framed window. Now, the last thing to do is to use all of your last pieces to finish off the edges. So I'm going to put glue on each of those flaps and go ahead and work around each edge here. I think I'll apply the glue to the inside of the frame. Obviously the shorter pieces go on the shorter sides. I'm going to put a little glue on this outside here too. Go ahead and get both sides stuck down at the same time. Okay, so you just slide that inside your frame, finishing off the outer edge really neatly. And this zip dry glue is very forgiving. I love it because if you get a little too much, you can just kind of wipe it off. When it dries, it just rubs off. Just make sure your corners are matching up exactly so that when you're done, your project looks really neat. Putting a little more glue under there, it doesn't seem to be holding. Okay. Then when you get to the corner, I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on the strip here that I'm putting inside. And I'm putting plenty of glue on that so that I make sure it sticks down good. I don't want this coming apart. I need to add a little bit of glue here as well on this little glue flap so that as I turn the corner, it sticks to that as well. Okay, that's going into place. Just make sure you take your time and that you get things lined up just the way you want them, because in the end your whole project will look so much better. really coming together so nicely. Okay, 2 more sides to put on and we're done. And it doesn't really matter, you can put the glue on the frame side or you can put it on the flats, the glue flats, doesn't really matter. I'm kind of trying both to see what's easier, and it seems to be about the same. Maybe putting it on the frame might be just a little bit easier actually. Okay. And on this side, a little bit on the flap here, a little bit on all of these inside pieces. And of course my telephone's gonna ring. Sorry about that. Of course, there's 2 phones in this room. Sorry. Okay. Oops. And the very last glue flap, I need to make sure I tuck that in. Okay. So there you have it. You have got this really cute 5x7 shadow box frame, and you can choose to hang it or you can choose to put it on an easel and display it that way. Anyways, I hope you enjoy making this shadow box and that it comes in handy. Have a great day.